Hello, it's Mike Downing from Bearpop Comics. I am running late today. I should have had this video up, but you know, sometimes things just happen. And I had a couple of things that I was doing, and I didn't really like. I started the video, and I didn't really like what I was doing, so I started again. No big deal. Before I get started, just showing you a little bit of the artwork that I'm doing. For the new comic. It's probably not going to stand up the way I wanted it, but I'm still working. I'll be posting stuff on the site. We're going to go over some of my graphic novels. It's graphic novel today. I had a small haul of comics, but I didn't really get into that yet because I wanted to show you guys this stuff. And it's so much that I didn't get to because the other stuff that I had, I haven't even showed you everything yet. So let's just start with this. So everybody knows that watch this, that I'm into graphic novels. So this is the Fantastic Four Epic Collection. Let's see which volume it is. I should have gotten that on there before I showed it to you. Okay, this is volume 9. And I started reading comics in the 70s. So I had a lot of these books. I had them. I let them go at a certain point because I had to make room in the studio, and I put money back into the studio with the books I had. But this run is from the 70s, and this is when I started reading comics. And to be honest with you, I got turned on to the Fantastic Four in the 70s. So this is one of the books that I collected. I love the graphic novels because what they wind up doing is you get the whole collection all in one. And it's nice if you can get the book itself. It gets a little pricey after a while. But I will probably wind up getting all these books all over again one day and holding on to them and flipping them again. But this run in particular, I remember getting this one, this particular issue, which is in this collection, 157, which was from 74, and a friend of mine next door let me borrow it, and I love this book. You know, that whole run with the team of who was on Fantastic Four back then? Okay, Roy Thomas was the writer and the editor. You had Rich Buckler, artist and illustrator, and Joe Sinat was the inker, and I just love that team. You know, I didn't come up in the Kirby era. I saw reprints of the Kirby era, but to me this was, and I love Kirby's work, but this was the Fantastic Four to me. You know, this particular art right here, and the detail and stuff, and the pictures of them in New York and all that, and I just loved it. So that is volume 9. And of course I'm going more on Fantastic Four. I got them all out of the order. Excuse me. This was volume 8. Same thing from the 70s. This goes back early into 73, going into 74. And this was the first introduction to the character Thundra, which became a prominent character in the Fantastic Four later. And she put a whooping on the Thing. And that was the first time I ever see a woman beat the Thing, but that's how strong she was. She fell in love with him later. She's from another dimension. It's just weird. It's just weird, but it was a fun read. So this was 8. Now this was the Kirby era. This is volume 7. This was some of the Kirby era. I think it was. No, I am incorrect. I'm incorrect. This is when, I believe, John Romita. Yes, John Romita did some of the illustrations here. Let's move some of this out of the way. All right. John Romita did the illustrations for this, and this was a good era too, because you know John Romita was a beast. The son is a great artist too, in my opinion. Some people don't think so, but I like John Romita's work. and he did a good job on the Fantastic Four. What I liked about it, if you look at these panels and you see the machinery artwork and the side, and Kirby used to do the same thing. I always thought it was so cool with all the machinery in the background and the different gadgets they had, you know, the whole sci-fi thing. And the classic John Romita Sr. did a good Kirby crackle. That whole energy thing you see right here with the, I'll pull it up a little closer. See the little energy bubbles they had down there. And I believe, my opinion, is that they got that, probably was inspired with that from Star Trek. Don't quote me, but it makes me think of when they were materializing, and you know, from the transporter in the original run of Star Trek, which I happen to love too. You know, so in this book, my first, my brother Dennis had this book, and I wound up getting a torn up copy of it because, you know, I was bad with comic books back then. I was a kid. I put them all over the place. But The Power of the Overmind, that was my real first dive into the Fantastic Four. And he gave me the book because the cover had came off, and it took me years to even see this cover on the book. But this is what I had, and I've read this book like a billion times. And that's when they started moving into the monthly books. They, like, before this, they used to give you one complete run of the story for like, I think it was like 10 cents. You got the whole story. But then they started going into just breaking up the story where it was episodical. You know, you get 30 pages, you had to get the next issue. So for all the people that said, oh, you know, Marvel was doing a money grab, they've been doing that. You know, they just did it a little classier back in the day. So we are going to the next epic collection, and this is for the Incredible Hulk. The 70s for the Incredible Hulk was very impressive. I just can't say no more. It was a lot of good issues. And the 70s for the Incredible Hulk introduced the Wolverine. I don't know if I had that book down here, the first appearance of Wolverine. I might have. Oh, I do. But we didn't get to there yet. So this had Adam Warlock in it. And the comic book version of Adam Warlock was way better than what you've seen on the movie Last Guardians of the Galaxy. They just, no, that wasn't Adam Warlock. But he's in this book. And it's just some classic art in here, some classic Hulk stuff going on. You see the Wendigo, which you see him later on in the classic first appearance of the Wolverine. I think it's Hulk 181, which is reprinted. I don't have that book. I had that when I was a kid. If I'd known what I know now, I would not have sold. No, I didn't even sell it. I just lost it. You know, but this type of stuff is just, I love this stuff. This is what made me get into comic books when I was a kid. And comic books was, you see the prices up there, they were 20 cents, 25 cents later on. You know, $1 could take you a long way. And this one here, I sold this issue. I forgot what I got for it, but I got a nice amount of money for the actual book when he battles the Juggernaut. And this was a very sought after issue when I was a kid. Okay, so we're moving right along. I'm getting a little winded with this type of stuff because I get excited about the 70s run. And this is, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you the volume that Hulk. This was volume 6. Epic Collection volume 6. This is Epic Collection, I think this is 7. Volume 7, yes, I'm right. This one has, because they titled it And Now the Wolverine, this one has the classic first appearance of the Wolverine in it. So yes, here it is. And this is close. I'm going to get to it right now because this book is well into the thousands. You know, so if you ever want to find a cheaper way to read this without getting a facsimile, and they're rare now too, you can get the Epic Collection. It gives you those runs from the 60s and the 70s with the Hulk, you know, and you just sit down and just reading and go through the whole thing. That's why I love them. To get these books personally, a lot of these books are $5 a piece, and much as I like comics, sometimes, you know, that gets to be a little pricey when you have bills. Now, here, Daredevil Volume 6. This was special to me because this was a birthday present. I recently had my birthday. And this was the first introduction to Bullseye. I think I put this in the last video, but I'm going to do it again because I liked Bullseye, but it was a character in here that I really, really liked when I was a kid. And they had a classic fight with Daredevil and him. And I'm trying to get to that cover here. I just missed it. Give me a few seconds. But here it is. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. The Torpedo. This guy, I just thought he was the coolest thing when I was a kid. And it's an issue here. He's actually an old Daredevil villain from Daredevil's run in maybe the 60s, early 70s. And they updated him. And this is this great story where they get in a fight in this black couple's house, and they tear up the house. They're fighting so ferociously, they tear up the house, and at the end she lays them out, and it kind of gives you that consciousness of if superheroes were real, you know, and they got into a battle, how much damage could they actually do, and what would they do to people around them. And I thought it was important that they did it like that because they always made the battles look fun, you know, and wow, look at this. But the reaction of tearing up somebody's home, you know, and whoever cleaned all that up? Did Daredevil, as a lawyer, is Matt Murdock, did he give her money? I don't know. They never answered that. See, in the newer books, they had the damage control. Back here, they didn't have that. So this is, you know, panels where she's laying him out, him and the Torpedo. And they never told you who repaired their home. As you see, they tore the wall down and everything. So as a kid, that just made me think like, wow, that's deep. I never thought of that. Okay. We are going into another birthday present, the Defenders, and I meant to show you the omnibus that I have of this, because I have a lot of classic stuff in that. But the Defenders, and this was continuation from the omnibus, volume 3. And of course, the original Defenders, love the stuff. Really good. It always gets respect in the comic community because the original Defenders, you know, the stories were pretty decent. And they weren't like your normal superhero team. They were a team, they were like a non-team. They just came together. They didn't even really get along. Doctor Strange actually ran the show the majority of the time. So I have some other stuff to show you. Okay, this is some other books that I happened to pick up. This is a while ago. As we're getting into the graphic novel collection. This was the Epic Collection of the Silver Surfer. This was, let's see. This goes for the 90s run. Volume 6. I'm actually going to go back and pick up some more of these. But the artwork in here is great. And if anybody doesn't know, some of the 90s books were kind of, but the Silver Surfer run particularly was really good in the 90s. They did a good job. They made a cartoon on the 90s run and on Fox. It came in when they had the Spider-Man cartoon and all that stuff. But this 90s run in the Silver Surfer was very, very good. So it's worth the purchase. All right, I got a lot of junk up here. Okay, going back into the 70s, we have Deathlock. Deathlock was also featured on the, what was that series? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that was a more modern version, but he came out in the 70s, and it was Rich Buckler that did the artwork, and Doug Monich. I'm hoping I'm saying that name right. Even Mike Zeck did some work. The famous Mike Zeck that did stuff for The Punisher did some work on Deathlock, and he is a cybernetic soldier from the future. And let's do a little thing. Let's see. This looks interesting. Yeah. So it's real cool. I like this book. As a kid reading it, it was a little deep for me. Now reading it now, I get a little bit more of the understanding. My favorite part, though, let's zoom in on this logo. Hold on 1 minute. Let's move. I got something too much in the way here. Let's move something out of the way. You don't need to have that there. All right. So if you look at this logo, I used to love these logos of the heroes. They don't do that in Marvel no more. They would have the corner logo with the spotlight around it. I miss that. It was just really cool. All right, and volume 10 of the Epic Collection of Fantastic Four. This is from probably 73 or 74. You know, going into the later 70s. I remember I got this book right here when I was a kid. I love this book. Excuse me for the sneeze. Hay fever. Anyway, I love this book. And the thing is battling the Destroyer, which is of course, you know, a Thor character and Thor villain. And he's battling on these asteroids, and they transition from the story and go into Counter Earth, and they deal with the High Evolutionary and Galactus. But this was a good story. And these were books when I was a kid. When I had the actual books, I would just read and read and read. I always read them, you know, just looking at the artwork. And sometimes I read them twice. I love that about when you're a kid and you're reading comic books and stuff like that. Like when I was coming up in the 70s, it just made you read more. And you enjoyed it, even if you had the stories, like looking at a rerun. But it helped you read and build your vocabulary, you know. So these were good books. And I have something else that is a little off the beaten path, but yet and still, I'm gonna show it. This was Batman Fortnite 0 Point. Interesting story. I started reading it, and the way they bought the Fortnite characters in the Batman, you know, DC universe, it's like some type of time loop that they get caught into, some type of dimensional portal where they're chasing a Harley Quinn. And through the whole book, they have to fight because these warriors from Fortnite are coming at them, and they're trying to get back out. It even takes, like, Batman can think and analyze, but he can't talk, and he doesn't really know who he is. You know, Catwoman's in here, and they keep interacting, and it's like somebody's resetting the battle, like it's a game, a video game. Now, I like about this cover, if you take a little look at that, you got the foil, like a transparent foil cover, and then a hard cover underneath. You know, it's just good work. It did good work. And I didn't get a lot of these single issues when they were out, because there was so many events. But they even got Snake Eyes in here. And anybody that plays the game will probably look at me like, oh yeah, he's in the game. But thought it was cool the way they did everything. And it's a lot of fun action in this book. It's not boring by any means. Like, they get it in. There's a lot of fighting in here. You know, we're looking into the back area here. You got some art galleries here with the different covers. It's a good book to read. We're going to some of the books I just picked up. I left my comic rack upstairs. I have a rack to hold these books, and I left it upstairs. And I'm not going to go and stop and get that. So These are some of the things that I just picked up. And this is kind of a random little, so I'm going to go through this kind of quick. Hopefully books don't fall down. So, Dark Crisis, Big Bang #1. That's the variant cover. Peter Panzerfaust, sorry, from Image Comics. And this is cover A. So this is variant cover #21. Gloomhaven, Fallen Lion, from Source Point Press. I keep running into these. Rogue Sun, the good character from Image Comics. I actually have this graphic novel. I don't have it down here. I would have showed it to you. But it's a good character. I think it's in relation to the Radiant Black character. They're intergalactic superheroes. Fear Itself, number 7.1, sorry. And they did this back in somewhere in the 2000s. This was a crossover event. I can't tell you much about it because I just picked up the book. Sometimes I was really tired of these crossover events. But someone else in the comments may say it was pretty good. Okay, we're going to the next set of books that I have. Jungle Comics, number 3. Real interesting cover. They did their thing with that chick on there. And Arctic Press. And it's in mint condition too, so I hope it has some value to it. I'd like to get 2 copies of that. 10th Archie, The Married Life Anniversary. Oh, the 10th anniversary of Archie, The Married Life. I'm not a big Archie reader, but hey, somebody out there likes it. I'll turn some books around. I apologize. Let's spin them back this way. We Ride Titans. I remember it was some kind of big stuff about this book at the time when it came out. This is from Vault Comics, and this is #1. People bragged about it was a real good series, and it has to do with them fighting monsters and these giant robots. Impressive art. I have not read it, but I do like the cover. The cover, it just has that new anime kind of feel to it. I like it. They did a good job with it. One day I'll read it. Heathen. Okay, interesting name. #2 by, wow, this is really indie. I don't even know what a company that puts this out, but the covers, and this is what I like about indie comics, they usually push the limit on, nothing looks like what everything looks like. It's always a different approach. So, okay. So, some of this is a little mature, so I'm going to close this book. I didn't know that was in there. And if any kids was watching, I apologize. But, I don't know what it's about. It looks werewolf or vampire-ish. So that was just in a comic haul. Vampire the Masquerade. This is from Vault number 7. Let's see what's in here. I don't know. Okay. Looks interesting. So we know it's vampires. I can't tell you about it. I just grabbed it. I always explore indie books, because sometimes you get them and the stories are great. All right. So that's the first haul from the indie books that I did. And we're going to go to this second haul that I got from Ollie's, I believe. Let's slide this over here because this pile's going to get kind of thick, high. Okay, Future Foundation #2. This is with the evil Reed Richards. What was they calling him in that book? I think it was later revealed that it was actually Dr. Doom, but this takes place in the future. It's all right. I grabbed it in the haul. Valiant, Unity #25. I think this is when the valiant characters come together for like a crisis event. This is a variant cover of some type, because I have the other ones in the pile over there in the box. I have no idea. I've never seen this book before in my life. Axel press button. Axel press button. And the cover looks sick. It's by Eclipse Comics. So this had to come out in either the late 80s or early 90s. Let's see, 1985. Well, so it's still in the, I would say that they still consider it as bronze. And you can tell by the paper. Good art. Very good art. Very good art. Yeah. It's something I would probably check out and read. So I think one day I'm going to get into just reading these books and just enjoying reading the books, you know, before I sell them or anything. You know, never know. This looks a little mature. See, I don't know some of what's in there until I look at it. But at any rate, it's like a good read. Okay, and I picked up a couple of these. The DC Nation number 25. You know, it's cool to have. I don't know why DC is suffering right now. They're just not doing well. And some of the books, well, no, they're not suffering too bad. The new Batman, Absolute Batman, is doing well. I'm trying to think if I want to show you guys anything else. I'm going to recap what I have currently that I put up. So here's what I've recently posted, and this is why I'm showing you this. I've recently posted these, or getting ready to post them online at my Bearpop comic site. So we have Batman Nightfall number 1. Love the cover. I don't know who this artist is, but it's a cool cover. All right. This is going up probably today, if some of this is already up. Batman and Detective Comics. I love Batman stuff, so, you know, I'm a Marvel fan through and through, but for DC, I always grab Batman. All right. We have, and this was a great period for Batman. Detective Comics. This was in 2000. No, I'm wrong. No, I was right. I'm sorry. 2008. October 2008, and this is number 882. Whoever did these covers, this black and white sketch is just amazing art. And we have 821 in the back. I've had this before, and I got rid of it, and it went pretty good online. And I'm not going to spend too much time in these because I did go over these. And the Batman's Eternal, I'm going to sell these probably in a pack because the stories are a little mixed up. Let's open it up real quick and see what's in the middle. Yeah, 49, 46, and 51. So, And I haven't posted this yet, but I think I'll be doing it today. I got you with the sticker on it. Excuse me. I want the people to see everything here, if they can see. Okay, so this was Batman: A Dark Knight number 10. This is in the 2000s. And I had shared this in another video, and I remember when I seen this on the rack, I was trying to get this book because I was like, what the heck is going on with Batman? And then when I went to go get it on the rack, it was gone. But as you can see, if you take a look at it, you can guess the villain. It's got to be Scarecrow. And it looks like somebody's under the influence of the fear gas because Batman don't look nothing like that. But that's a creepy cover. That is a creepy cover. but it draws your attention. You walk through the comic book shop and you see that store, that book. You look like, what the heck is going on over there? So, and the last book I'm going to show, because this stuff was in the last video, I'm just letting you guys know I'm getting ready to post it. Scarlet Spider number 0.1. I couldn't stand when they were doing this 0.1 stuff. 0.1, 0.12. It just really confused me. But it's probably a good book. It's probably pretty decent. Okay, so we're not going to go through the rest of this stack today. This is going to be it, because some of this stuff I've already showed you. And I don't want to get too repetitive in the videos. But these are going to be going online. And I'll be showing you some more, because I got another load over there. But we're not going to do that today because I'm already behind. So I'm going to get this video out. And just to remind you guys, I have music at the bottom. That music is produced by me. And I have a page called The Kickback Lounge. If you're ever interested in music for your site, contact me. I'll leave a link in the description. And I can do different styles. I know you would hear something that's a little bit more maybe hip-hop-ish, or, you know, trap or whatever down there, because that's me. But I can do different styles for your comic page, or something, you know, pretty simple or whatever. Just reach out to me from the link in the description. All right, this is Mike Dowling from Bearpop Comics signing off. And as I'm signing off, just take a look at this, the artwork in the back. This is one of the characters I'm working on for my comic series. And we'll be talking about that a little later also. So, guys, take care and enjoy Sunday. Kickbackmusic.com